Catch a Vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Peace and love, and welcome to another episode of Catch a Vibe with me, Big Hass. It's actually our 34th episode, so episode number 34, right here on Pulse 95 Radio. Catch a Vibe airs every Saturday and Sunday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. local time. You can catch all the interviews on YouTube, on SoundCloud, on all the audio streaming services as well. What's really cool about Catch a Vibe is the fact that it's Pulse's first and only music-dedicated radio show. That's one. Two, we humanize the artists. We talk to them. We get to know them. And third, which is something I've begun to notice, it rejuvenates me because you can imagine the diversity of the musicians, the artists, the songwriters, the singers that come to the studio, and just everyone has a different story. And that somehow, for me, kind of rejuvenates me. And I kind of need that. I've been doing this since 2006 or 7. And sometimes I feel kind of, just slow or like a burnout. And these musicians or artists or creatives come in and just really, truly inspire me. So big love and respect. And thank you guys for the love and support. Today's guest, man oh man. First of all, he's a legend in the game. When we talk about UAE music, definitely a legend. Any musicians that you've seen, perform, we'll say that for sure. Somebody that impacted the UAE music scene for sure. He's an incredible drummer. Like when we talk about the base of drummer and all that, musician, a very, very creative individual. But I think I want to get to know him as a person. And this is why I wanted to have him here. Because, specifically with musicians, sometimes, with bassists, the guitarists, not a lot of people want to talk to them for some reason. I don't know why. I'm really interested because they make it. They make the artist kind of, or the singer kind of pop up even more. And with this individual, he has a lot of impact. And if you know me, I love the word impact. So without further ado, we're going to say peace and love to the legendary, incredible UAE bass drummer, Rony Afif. Hello, wallah. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Man, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me on the show. And that was a tremendous intro. Overwhelming.
No, wallahi, it's the fact. Okay, listen, we want to start with, obviously, drums. What was Rony Afif's intro to drums? Like, how did you get... You're obviously from Lebanon, based here in the UAE. But how did you get into drums? What was it? You remember the first time you got into drums?
Started more... I started playing Oriental percussions.
Okay.
It starts in the family. There's a...
Oh, yeah, that's
birthday.
Any Arab family.
Yeah. Wedding, any celebration and reason, and then you pick up the darbuka. Darbaki. Say it Lebanese.
Yeah.
And it started from there. And I had the relatives, like cousins, who also played, but they took it to another level. They were doing some gigs with singers and all that, and I followed through.
Anyone famous like we know?
I don't remember.
Okay.
That was a long time ago.
So obviously it started with you as a family tradition.
Yes.
But when do you take it the next step?
The next step is probably I started playing drums. It was late. So before that it was mainly Oriental music, Arabic music, and I did study it as well.
Okay.
And then I saw a local band playing, and I remember they were playing some rock cover from Metallica.
Oh, wow.
And I saw
the drummer
up close, the drummer. And back then, no internet, no YouTube.
What year was that, Rony?
96.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There were internet in the world, but
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Not in the premise.
YouTube itself launched in 2005, so
Yeah.
I get it.
I seen it up close, and I can't tell you exactly what it was, but I got mesmerized, and ever since I just wanted to play the drum.
You know what's interesting? So I have a theory, and maybe you can shut down this theory. We don't have a lot of Arab drummers, and my theory is because obviously we don't have basements like in the States where you can. Does that have anything to do? Because to practice drums in an apartment or a house maybe is difficult.
Of course it is, and there is I don't know, from my experience, I cannot say in general, but from my personal experience, you had a social aspect, like this instrument is not from, while they were okay. I mean, the Rebecca makes not the same amount of noise, but it's within that range. It's noisy.
It is, yeah.
Right? So we cannot say about the dynamics. So it's
Correct.
basically, it's not, you're going to start playing foreign music. That's not our culture. That was one part.
Okay.
Second part is the space and the noise. Third part is the economical aspect.
Well, this whole thing happened in Lebanon or here?
Lebanon.
Okay. And when did you move here?
In 2006.
Wow. Okay. 2006. Okay. So I still want to ask you, what was it about drums? Because I personally, for me, I feel that love too. I never really got into it, but I love it. Like I love the whole vibe. Is it the drummer as an act, how he or she is acting on, or what was it about the drums that attracted you to take it professionally?
It's basically the beat, but I could say it in another way. I'm not being evasive or anything, but it could be that it chooses you more than it clicks. I mean, when you have, like I even have one of my kids, he will just hit on everything. He will just drum whenever he hears, right? He will not try to sing first. He will just hit. And I was the same, more or less. But with drums, I liked, opposed to the Rebecca, I liked the options. There's a bigger variety of sounds you can choose from. There is more possibilities. And the challenge. And on top of that, personality-wise, I don't like to be in front.
Okay.
So that's a good cover also.
Wow. Okay. So now we got to know you a little bit, and I think with specifically with drums is really incredible. So I still have a lot of more questions, but I want to take a short break, and in that break, Rony, I want to play, if you don't mind, one record out of your album. Is it called Zuruf?
Yes.
And we're going to talk more about that. But which record? I really like Time Drifting.
Yes.
Huh?
That's one of my favorites too.
Really?
Yeah.
So we're going to play a little bit of Time Drifting. Amazing, incredible album, really, in my opinion. We're going to talk more about it. And this was dropped in 2014 or something like that?
Yes.
2014. So I'm going to play a little bit of it, and we're going to be right back with Rony Afif, an incredible, ladies and gentlemen, legendary drummer and human being based here in the UAE. Enjoy this. We're going to be right back.
Catch a vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Catch a Vibe, episode number 34. We are with the incredible musician, drummer, percussionist, Rony Afif, whose impact really is remarkable. We'll talk about that, but we're trying to get to know him. So obviously, Rony, as your Lebanese Arab family, you got into it by just being from the Derbeke, and then you got into it professionally and all these. In between, we just heard, for example, one record from your album Zuruf, and I'm playing Zuruf right now. Actually, what sparked you to create this album, which just dropped in 2014?
First of all, I wanted to break away from the stereotype of just playing drums, because I mean, actually, when I studied, I did not study drums. I studied musicology, and they did not have drums in the university where I studied in Lebanon.
Wow. Okay.
And I pursued it on my own, private lessons and records, how everybody does
drums. Self-taught.
Yeah, not really self-taught.
Okay.
I did study a lot of people.
Okay.
So not technically.
Okay.
But yeah, I had a lot of melodies. I'm not super versed when we talk about harmonies and all that crazy stuff. I can play basic piano.
Okay.
To get myself.
But how did Zuruf come about? Why did you want to put an album like that? I don't know, to stay away from the and to get out of the box of just drummer.
Yeah, and I had those melodies. Why not? I had the melodies in my head, and.
But what's interesting? This was dropped about 7-8 years ago or so, and it's just remarkable. Do you have a personal favorite record? From this album that you personally like?
It's a tough question.
Yeah.
to ask, like I've heard you kind of get tired.
You've heard this.
Yeah, I've heard it so many times. Yeah, and it's time to do
something else.
But it's a good album. All the circumstances and the musicians came together.
How long did it take you to put this album together?
I mean, I had the music in a form. I recorded it MIDI and I put it in the computer, and it sat there for years.
Oh, wow.
Until one of my friends, a great pianist, Tariq Yamani.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, legend. That's another legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a lot. He rearranged a lot, harmonically did a lot, and then it took that shape.
Wow. What a story. That's cool. That's cool.
We recorded it in New York. I went there. He hooked the musicians, the bass and the sax player. And we went in and we recorded it 2 days out, done.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. In New York?
Yeah.
That's remarkable. Okay. So I can't wait to hear, more new stuff from you. But let's talk challenges, Rony. As a drummer and percussionist, kind of doing what you're doing and all these years, what is the main challenge, whether it's socially or technically for you as an Arab Lebanese, individual? Tell me about some of the challenges.
I mean, challenge number one is to keep the consistency of being ready on the instrument.
Meaning?
Meaning you have to put in the work on daily basis. That's the theory. And I'll do my best to put in the work and practice every day. And it's going to take time away from everything, from the family and,
Sacrifice.
Yeah. But you have to stay in shape.
Instrumental shape. I like that. Perfect.
Of course, to serve the music, because we're doing something big when we perform, when we play. It's not merely entertainment or whatnot. It means more to me.
Big round of applause. You see, ladies and gentlemen, musicians like that, this mentality, though, Rony, is disappearing slowly, what you just said. No?
I can't say. The circle around me of musicians, they are
like that.
They are the same. We're like-minded.
Okay.
But hopefully, one would think it should spread more into the scene.
Okay, so you spoke about some of the challenges, which is obviously staying in shape. What about socially? We talked about it. When we talk about drums, it's something that's not seen as maybe. Why are you getting into drums, tabl,
Yeah.
So you got this as
of
grown.
Of course.
How do you deal with it?
You just keep on doing what you do. And it's part of the character. I just pursue what I want until I can prove myself wrong.
Wow.
Then I change. But yeah, if you wanted to listen to everybody around, you wouldn't probably be able to achieve.
Growing up, did it? Maybe you could tell us. Did you reach a level where, oh man, I can't do this anymore? Did you nearly was gonna leave this? Well, خلاص, you were determined.
Not when I was growing up. It happened a couple of years back when I was doing. Yeah, it's.
It's still happening till now. That people are telling you.
Not because of the people, but at the end.
You get burnout.
Yeah, you burn out, and then you have to stay, as I'm saying, in shape. You have to do honest music. You have to perform honestly, and then that can become a burden at some point. It can burn you. You will stop. But growing up, I set the goal. I want to do this, and you just can't move me. I just keep on going forward. I'll do whatever it takes to achieve it.
For anybody who's interested to be obviously, say a drummer, what's the sort of work ethic that needed? I love how you speak about it, but what's the sort of work ethic needed for something like that? Everything needs work ethic, of course, but for drums, is there anything specific you can tell them? If somebody is already playing drums right now and listening to us, and he or she is getting in that mood of that, what sort of tips you have for them, especially early on, something that they can learn quickly right now from you?
I would repeat what my teacher told and still tells me. No shortcuts. You have to put in the work. And I don't have much experiences with practicing other instruments, but I know drums is demanding physically, and since you're using all your limbs, and you kind of have to develop this. They call it independence. I call it interdependence. But just enjoy the process, because you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, you're going to have stuff that's not going to work. Just keep on doing it. Things will come.
The amount of people, musicians, that said that statement right here on the show is remarkable. I think out of 34 episodes, maybe something like about 25 or 26 people have said, enjoy the process. It's all about the process.
Yeah.
And absolutely, I agree with that. We're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back with Rony. Rony, you are the radio host right now. And which record do you want me to play? It doesn't have to be from your album. I would say any record that is clean, radio friendly, whatever it is that you have in mind. What would you, like, who were you listening to, like, when you were growing up, let's say?
Oh, I mean, it's variety stuff.
Give me a name. Maybe we can play them on the radio.
I'm trying to think of something that can be
played on the radio. No, but seriously, who are some of the bands that you used to listen to? Automatically off the top.
I mean, I listen a lot to, different genre.
Yeah.
But growing up, I listened a lot to...
like jazz, for example.
I would say my favorite record, that I heard a lot from the beginning, is Chick Corea's tune. It's called The Mad Hatter.
The Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play that.
Yeah.
I think it's clean.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, 100%. So we're gonna play that, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be right back. We are with UAE-based drummer percussionist, somebody who really impacted musicians here in the UAE. We're gonna talk about that up next. But right now, let's hear. What's the record, Rony?
The name of the album, the name of the record is The Mad Hatter. You can choose any track from it.
Yeah, we're gonna hear that.
Humpty Dumpty maybe is good.
Oh yeah, maybe. Oh okay, maybe we'll hear that and we'll be right back. Keep it locked. Pulse 95 Radio. Catch a vibe.
Catch a vibe with Big Hass. Only on Pulse. Pulse 95.
Pulse 95 Radio. Big House with you guys. Obviously every Saturday and Sunday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Episode number 34 today. And I just want to shout out all the musicians, all the singers, songwriters, music enthusiasts, people who have a platform for music or creatives. Shout out to everybody. We are with Rony Afif, who is, we're just getting to know him as people that play music and do music in the UAE know the name Rony Afif. So Rony, I want to ask you, you moved to the UAE in 2006?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me, when you first got here, what were your thoughts? Like, did you start getting, obviously booked to perform? Who did you meet? Who did you collaborate with? How did you start your journey in the UAE musically?
So when I arrived here, we were kind of fed up running away from the war that was going on back then.
In Lebanon.
It was at the same time they were bombing at the end. And then I left. We just couldn't, enough, khalas.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, to settle down, I was trying to finish from that nightmare. And then I met people, I knew them from before.
Okay.
Because I used to also work in Virgin Mecca store in a day, selling
What?
records. Jazz records.
Really?
Yeah.
What, in Lebanon?
Yeah, in Lebanon, in
Insane.
downtown. So I met.
Who did you meet? Like walking?
Kamal.
Kamal whom? Salem?
Yes, I met him there.
What?
And we ended up playing from there. We met them there on the jazz stand.
Oh my God! No, what a story! Both are incredible. Like, I've had Kamal on the show as well, and you met Kamal in a Virgin Mega store.
Yes.
That's insane.
Me, and then we had a bass player, not my brother, another Ali.
Oh,
he
man.
also was working there.
Shout out to your brother, of course, Rony Afif, also another legend right here. Okay, who else did you meet in this store?
And I met Asad.
What?
Asad's brother. Like, he's over there also. And then, consequently, I met Asad because of that.
No, wait. Are we talking about you met them at the store?
I met, Rami at the store.
Like they came in to buy something?
They came in asking for a CD. And I was like, no, you don't need that. Take that CD. It's better. And then we start talking, and then...
That is insane.
Yeah.
No, this is... Ladies and gentlemen, if you know these names, you go like, what? They met at a Virgin Mega store in Lebanon? That's crazy. Okay, so you're here. You're trying to find, obviously...
So, yeah, they were here. I arrived here. I already had... friends
yeah.
And the connections, and we started doing music. It didn't take long, like it took 3 weeks, And then I was playing with Kamal, I was playing with Asad and Rami, and then we met another friend of ours, Belgian pianist, who visited us last week after 15 years. His name is Olivier.
Olivier.
So he's playing keyboard, and then that was the band. And my brother followed after.
So the band is what, the Afif band?
No, we didn't do that back then.
So what was the band
called?
called?
I was working as a sessionist for Kamal, with Asad, the Abstract Collision.
Okay.
With Olivier's band.
Okay.
And then whoever called good music, we go.
And so that's my question. I know that you performed with, for example, I know Abri, for example.
Yeah, of course. Later on, not in 2006.
Yeah. In the beginning, who were you? You were going around playing with all these different people.
It was more centered around jazz, so it's not more about the people. It's more about the genre and the people who could interact with it.
But back then, Rony, I mean, take me back then. This was like, obviously, when you came here in 2006, maybe you started playing in 2007 or 8.
Yeah.
How was the music community back then?
I mean, it was smaller, and we didn't really... It kind of fit, how the circumstances. So I was surrounded by like-minded people.
Okay.
Like what I'm trying to do now. So we did the same music, and me, Olivier, and Elie, we were living in the same apartment too.
Okay.
So we're waking up every day, we were practicing.
Playing music.
So I wouldn't say the whole scene, but I would say my immediate scene was good. My was fine.
Like, did you play around in places
Yes, mainly we were based, I don't know if you remember. Can we say the name of the venue?
Yeah, of course.
We played a lot at the Blue Bar. I stayed there
okay.
in a day.
Wow.
And we could even... I don't know if someone remembers. We did organize the jazz festival in Blue Bar in a day. Like with the musicians flying. Olivier organized it with musicians flew from
that jazz
Europe.
fest?
Like, not the big one. We managed to do...
A jazz fest your way?
Yeah.
Amazing. What year was that?
Like 2007, 2008.
Insane.
Yeah.
But how were the perception of people back then? Because I'm trying to figure out, did people's mind change? The UAE is such a transit place.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out to go back to this era. I came to the UAE in 2016. So 2007 and 2008, I wasn't here. And I don't know how was the music listeners like? What were they like?
They were enjoying it. The place was packed.
Okay.
It was a different crowd. We were playing whatever we wanted to play, and it was good. You still get a response.
Do you think that's different now?
It's not the people that changed. It's the venues. It's the mentality.
In what way?
I would say, unfortunately, the corporate and the agencies.
It got businessy.
That's too. How would I say? You kind of have one entity to not point at the person, and it will become personal. One entity who can take the load of deciding what's good musically for the scene, what will work for the corporate scene, and you're gonna give another entity in another venue, the F&B, food and beverage guy, to decide what's good musically over here. And all the music is revolving around the comfort of the digestion, I call it. Like the dinner and other people.
Round of applause right here. I was waiting for this.
And then obviously you have the needs. You have musicians who need to survive or they need to work, then they give in. And that changes, but that does not mean that the people are resistant to certain genre, like to be specific jazz, instrumental jazz. There was a whole myth people cannot handle it and jazz is dying. And then it got proven wrong. We have a new venue, a jazz lounge. Now we're playing, and we're playing most of the nights is instrumental. We're playing jazz.
Incredible.
And people are there.
Someone said jazz is dying?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean, there is a big word. I mean, let's say it's morphing. It's becoming more global.
Okay.
I would call it like that. It's changing.
I agree. This is... This is you playing.
With Abri.
This is like exact 8 years ago. Oh, he knew. It's 8 years ago. This was at Blue Bar, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to know, Rony, the state of mind you're in when you're drumming. You're not here. Look at that. Abri is looking at you. I'm Dan, and the crowd is obviously getting. It's what we call a drum solo. We're here, and it's not done yet. Oh, you're just watching it. Take me through your state of mind. Like seriously.
You just go.
Yeah, you just go. That's the thing. 100%. But where? Like how? What are the feelings you have when you're like in this state?
It starts like at the beginning, like to be cautious. It will start with a small cell
Okay.
or a rhythmic figure, and then you start playing with that, and then it takes you somewhere else. You're just playing within that frame, and I don't know. It's like.
Do you, Rony? Do you get that every single time you play, or is just only a few moments?
I can't say every single time. No, there's always ups. There's always good nights and bad nights, and I talk from my perspective. I'm not talking from the listener's perspective.
Yeah.
And I'm not really known to be very forgiving with myself first. So.
All right.
So sometimes it can be
like
harsh.
you're a perfectionist about like your Rony is.
That's not. No, it has to mean something. It's not about the technique. It's not about being perfect. You have to say the good words, like as if we're talking. You have to say something meaningful. Wow,
cool. I want to play you something. I don't know if you know this record or no. Just want to see your face. I'm telling you, he's not gonna see this coming, but any ideas at all, Rony?
Not yet.
Not yet? Nothing? So, okay, I'm gonna give you a hint. Did you watch like Arabic cartoon growing up?
Yes.
Anime, like, old Arabic cartoon, like the Captain Majid and all these things.
Before that.
Oh, before that?
Yeah.
Wow. What do we have before that?
Like Grandizer.
Okay, you said it, bro.
That's it.
It's Sammy Clark.
Yeah.
May his soul rest in peace. Does Grandizer mean anything to you, Rony? Seriously, because I love Grandizer.
Yes, of course. We grew up watching that stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, even the lyrics of Grandizer meant something.
Yeah.
It's like, Grandizer, this planet Earth is so small, man. You know, it's just beautiful. I get emotional.
And I like the other one that we watched a lot. What was it?
Which one?
Belle was Sebastian.
Belle Sebastian.
I like that.
Yeah, we have to have a whole segment about about like Ayam al-Tayyibin, we call it. But yeah, for me it was Jungar, Grandizer. Yeah, incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, this took a turn. We are with Rony Afif, incredible drummer, and just really somebody who really impacted the UAE music community really heavy. Rony, I want to put you on the spot again. From your album, I want to play a record. Which album, which song would you want us to play right now?
Rony's Lament.
Rony's?
Lament.
Oh, okay. Is there a story from that record, or we could talk about later? Or no, it's just
no,
it's just like that.
When just like a hint, when you compose, it's not like
there's a story behind it.
Classical music, you don't have to. It's just a melody, and then
that's interesting.
If for marketing you like to put a story on it, that's your business. If you want to keep it real, just say it.
I like that. We're gonna be right back, you guys. Keep it like it's Catch a Vibe on Pulse 95 Radio.
Catch a Vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95 Radio, ladies and gentlemen. Big Hass right here. I'm with Rony Afif, who is somebody who is really passionate about drums and just percussion and music. Would you say that you're passionate?
Yes, of course.
Does this passion, do you feel and fear that this passion will ever go away?
No.
Never.
I'll keep on doing that till the last breath. And that's it.
Amazing. Okay, so we spoke briefly before about some of the challenges that you faced. I want to know from you now in 2023, what are the challenges that faces an authentic, real musician going through, their lives? With everything that's going on right now, with the clickable, everything is snackable. They want everything so short, and they want everything to the. I'm gonna give you a fact that is crazy to you, Rony. I'm sure you're gonna get shocked of it. I've worked in a couple of streaming services, without saying any names, and they tell me this. They tell me, Hassan, now, if a song does not start singing, like there's vocals after 2-3 seconds, the user will skip that.
Yeah.
It's so weird. 2 seconds. So that means, and the song has to be like maximum 2 minutes and a half, and then so what they're making is criteria for a song to hit. Knowing all this, what are the challenges you face, knowing your beliefs and knowing what you think about music and how music should impact and elevate and all these things? Do you struggle with that?
I mean, of course, there's a struggle, and I would say I haven't figured it out yet for myself. But we should adapt to a middle ground in between that. So now looking at the commercial aspect, how to optimize streaming and revenue and all of that corporate stuff, and find a good balance by allowing creativity within that, is a difficult job.
Are you stuck there?
Kind of. I'm not really focusing on it because it is what it is. I mean, what I play and my perspective till now, so far, does not fit there.
Very interesting. Very interesting you say that. So for me, if you don't mind, how do you, like, you're making a living out of music right now? Or do you work something else?
Yeah, I do something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So music is not 100% that.
I did for 20 or so years full-time music, but then to preserve being authentic and playing the good music and the music that I like, I chose to have another job to support me. And I can choose the good gigs. I'm not forced to play.
Wow. Well, was that tough, Rony, for you?
No, I use and the job is not that far. It's creative. We're basically choreographing water. We're doing the Dubai fountain and the waterfall and Expo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. That's incredible.
And that's music and motion, and it's a lot of problem solving, which keeps your brain fresh.
Wow. If someone would ask Rony Afif how many gigs you played in the UAE, do you have a number?
A lot. I don't remember. Especially like the days between 2006 to 2008.
Yeah.
It was just nonstop. It was.
Do you have a favorite moment, like when you look back at your career in the UAE specifically, 2006 and 7, until now? Do you have a favorite moment that Rony Afif and maybe someone who would hear this segment remember that moment? It was not documented. It was like just نحن بس we knew. Was there a moment like that back then?
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of moments like that.
Give me one moment that comes to your mind right now. Doesn't mean like it's a good thing or a bad memory or a good memory. Something that comes to your mind right now. An anecdote.
I can't think of anything.
Like for example, I'm a big fan of Abri.
Yeah.
And Abri, the way he performs is incredible. Like, so is there anything with him that you remember that we can talk about in terms of like, something that happened?
I mean, there's a lot I can't remember. I don't know if we can talk about it.
Oh God. Did Abri ever when because the kind of music that you guys do is a lot of improvisation, right?
Yes. Within the frame. Exactly.
Within the frame. Yeah. How does that work with musicians? Do you know what's going to happen?
No, but that's the
beauty of it, I guess.
That's the beauty of it. We know the song, but we know the beginning of the song,
okay.
The lyrics, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? What happens between then and at the end it's improvised. And I think like the most fun I had on stage where we had fun. Yeah. We had moments that were not fun as well.
Okay.
But like mostly where I enjoyed and I was feeling in a spot, and
Yeah.
I was happy. It
Yeah.
was the days when we were playing with Avri.
Wow.
Like the days, especially when we were performing. I forgot the year, but when we were doing Pizza Express and JLD.
Pizza Express. I think this is where I met you guys. Like this
Those
is where,
were those were the days.
Those were the days. When someone speaks to you about the UAE music community or scene, what are your thoughts about it? Do you keep a close eye? Because I think there's a lot of circles right here. So there's the circles of musicians, who play that type of music. And there's the circles of there's a couple of rappers, and there's the indie pop. Do you look at all this or no?
For me, there's two circles.
Okay.
Authentic,
Wow.
providing good music,
Yeah.
and someone I wouldn't put. There's people are trying. The people trying hard.
Yeah.
We don't want to put those people down.
100%.
And there's people pretending to do.
Pretending.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You present. You do your job with passion, properly, and there's no variables within that equation. It's you play or you don't play. You go on stage, there's no hiding. Your clothes won't hide you. You're exposed. You're there.
100%.
It's you play or you can't play.
Yeah. No, but I love that. But don't you also agree that the kind of music that you're in doesn't get a lot of appreciation, like amongst, I'm talking about even the UAE music as a community? I think because you guys, it's like we need more hype in a way. I feel like this type of music needs more. It's like only certain people go and watch it and see. They don't appreciate the music.
I mean, it's let's put it in another way.
Okay.
Like I do my research, I do my work to stay in shape. I do my study, I deal with my fears, I do the whole thing. And I show up and I play. And I would expect not the same effort. I would expect 3% of that from the listener. If you're coming, like if you're going to explore something new. Like when you go, let's say when you go to an art exhibition,
Yeah.
you don't go with assuming something. You
Correct.
go,
You keep
you
an
go
open
and
mind
you look and you experiment and you get the impressions and you leave with those impressions, whether on a personal level or in the inner circle, whether they're good impressions, bad impressions. The goal is it did leave an impression. The rest is all yours.
Yeah.
Like
No, 100%. I agree with that. I just think that much of the music and the collectives that we have right here is something that needs to be hyped more, understood more. I think music is becoming this snackable content.
Yeah.
And that for me is a bit hurts me a little bit. I go like, music is a process and it's a journey, and people want to hear something quick, something trendy. Oh, how many views it got? I'm like, what does the views have to do with the music? And this is where I'm struggling.
and this rush, this compressed time and space where they want to achieve super fast is migrating to the younger musician generation now.
Oh my, that's a problem, I think.
That's one. The miraculous place of the UAE is you can buy your instrument, and 2 weeks later you can start doing gigs. And I've seen it, and I still see it, and it happens every day.
Isn't that insane?
It's insane, and more important, it does not mean that the guy can play, or it should.
Oh God!
Yeah,
that.
So they're rushing with that under any. You can't do that with medicine or with accounting, or you'll go to jail. But with how is it so flexible?
With music,
We don't want to do music police. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But how is it acceptable to the general public?
it's the music.
To hear something
music ear.
unrefined like that, and they would clap at the end, and it's an automatic thing. It's like the streams. Oh, it's silence. Let's clap.
Never thought about it that way, Salaha. It's interesting how you, wow. Very interesting way of thought. Do you think, Rony, as we're wrapping up, do you think anything we can do to improve that element?
It's up to us to keep putting
Good
good music That's it. There's nothing, and
But here, I mean, the devil's advocate will tell you, but music is subjective. What you think is good, someone else might think is bad, and so on. That's, I think, the debate.
I mean, I'm not talking about taste or shape or color.
You're talking techniques.
Yes,
Okay.
please. That's the general truth. You cannot talk about that.
It's not debatable.
You know, once you master your instrument, play the content that you want. Nobody has nothing against you. Or, I mean, don't say master the instrument. If your style is just 2 chords, 1 chord, and a beat, just once you hear one note, if it's done properly and from the heart, it leaves an impact. Nobody can say anything.
I love the fact that you're very passionate about this, and I think when we ask you right now, where is Rony Afif right now? Like now at this space and this time, are you working on new music? Do we see another Zuruf? Are you working on something? What are you currently working on now?
I'm writing music. I'm not trying to, but I'm trying to
You're writing music.
to release it. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's in a process, and it might take long, but there would be a shift away from the era
Of Zuruf.
of Zuruf. هذيك الظروف راحت.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
we'll do something else.
No, 100%. It's different Zuruf right now,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
like circumstances. I mean, circumstances. Do you have like a specific name for this upcoming one, or no, not yet?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
Zuruf too. No, but seriously, it's been a pleasure just speaking to you, and I feel like, you know, obviously time just really was so quick. Can we expect anything this year from you as Rony, or no, not yet? This year from
Not yet.
not yet. Okay, where can people see you if they're hearing you right now and they liked some of the things that you said and they like the music? Is there a certain residency that you're in that you can talk about?
I perform on Wednesdays and Thursdays at Jazz Lounge, the IFC.
What time?
We start at 10:30 till late.
Okay, 10:30 till late.
Yeah.
I guess the last question would be to you, Rony. Obviously, you're a family man as well. What is your dream? Like, what's the dream? What's Rony Afif's dream?
I mean, to be happier than the day before.
Wow, that's a recurrent dream.
Yes, of course. I mean, and there's nothing wrong of living not 100%, but more or less purposeless.
Wow.
You know, just focus on the process. You go every day, be happier than the day, be better than the day before, and
Right.
move on to the next.
Did you ever think about writing a book or something like that? Because it's interesting. I'm just getting to know you, and there's a lot of things right there that are like interesting in terms of like what goes on in the mind of a percussionist, a drummer. You know, I think the question I get the most, especially with musicians, do you ever play and your mind is not with you? Like you're not really focused about what you play. You have other things, and you still play. You still do the job.
That's a part of the practice routine.
Oof.
Yeah, and I started doing that when I met Stanley Jordan here in one of the jazz festivals in Abu Dhabi, and he was doing that. If he starts practicing and he couldn't focus, he was thinking of something else, he would stop, meditate, bring his mind back together, and come in.
Wow.
It can happen sometimes on a gig, but thankfully, not that much.
I think, alhamdulillah, you were able to, and I love the way you're speaking about your passion and where you are. Ladies and gentlemen, Rony Afif is a name that we all should love and respect. I think you know, in this kind of 40-50-minute conversation, we're not going to be able to really dive deep. I still want to get you in for a second time because you are just really incredible, man. I really salute you, and I want you to know, Rony, I want to give you your flowers, meaning I want to give you your respect. I've been here for 5 years and a half, and I've heard like incredible things about you. I've heard how you were able to impact the music community here, especially with musicians. So, and I love the fact that you are still keeping all the values and the realness of it. So, respect to you. Any last words you'd like to say? Go ahead.
Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you for having the show and then letting us tell or actually letting us be heard.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna put you on the spot at the end. What's a record we can play right now? Same, not from you. Anything that you kind of like listening to. Give me something random, whatever it is.
Random. Bjork, pagan poetry.
Whoa. Yeah.
Uh,
That's really random. Yeah, see?
That's specific.
Oh, man. Okay. Don't ever challenge a drummer. I'm telling you. Peace and love to all. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you, Rony, again for your time. People can follow you on Rony Afif on Instagram.
Rony Afif music.
Rony Afif Music. Go follow him on Instagram. Peace and love. And we say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Salam, Rony.
Thank you. Peace.